Jen, is that a yes? You did?
I did. I watched
How
on
was it?
pay-per-view, and I held up my phone and did some live for my team. So it was good.
Yeah.
Was it really good?
Good quality, like good picture quality?
Yeah, there were some glitches. Like now and again, it would stop, you know, and especially like at important parts, like announcements, and you're like, no, don't stop. But yeah, it went really well. And it was nice because you're like right there in front. You know, you get a front row seat. So.
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. Well, I really, really enjoyed it. So this was my first green carpet. I've gone to 2 conferences in the past and lots of one team, one missions and all that stuff. But this is my first green carpet. And I have to say, I think it was my favorite event that I've been to so far as Networks event. One, I really liked it because it felt super intimate, quite a bit smaller. The surrounding community wasn't so busy as it was for when I've gone to conference and things like that. Yeah, I really, really, really enjoyed it. But we kind of thought tonight we'd just share any great aha moments we got, and also kind of chat about the new products that came out. So, okay, anybody want to go first, or you want me to go first?
Go ahead, Jessie.
Okay, I'll go first. So one thing I notice when I go to all these events is, you know, when they say, you know, those who go up, and all that stuff. Sometimes it sounds really cheesy, and it sounds like, you know, really, is that really the case? You're just saying that. But it's really true. I don't feel like there was anything over the weekend or on Friday when I was there that I heard that was brand new. It's stuff that I've been hearing for the last 3 years. But just hearing the repetition and hearing stuff in different ways, all these little light bulbs were going off. And for me, one of the best aha moments of the entire weekend was hearing lots of ambassadors say over and over and over again to stop overcomplicating your business. And that when they've hit roadblocks or they've hit stalls in their business, it's always been because they've shifted into management mode or they've begun to overcomplicate things. They're not following that very simple, not always easy, but very simple roadmap that the company gives us, which is those steps to success. And I know, guys, I know that sounds like a broken record because it does to me too sometimes. But as I was sitting there just thinking, it's like, okay, all the times that I've promoted or all the times that I've reached my business goals, I was doing that every month. And all the times that I'm feeling frustrated or feeling bummed or low because I'm not reaching the specific business goals I want, I'm not doing those things. You know, I'm not doing the steps to success. I don't have them printed off, and I'm not filling them in with a paper and pencil. Last summer when I wanted to go presidential, I printed them off every single month and taped them to the inside of my cabinet. Fill it out. And just having that written visual goal is important. And I don't know what it was, but something just struck me just really intensely about that this weekend, that it's not always easy. And following those steps to success, it's not always easy. Get your 4 LCs and your 3 DTs and try your best to get that every single month. And then once you do it, celebrate for a quick second and then do it again. It really, for whatever reason, that really just hit me hard. And I'm sure it's because the last couple months I haven't had my steps to success printed off. And I haven't been doing as good of a job as I have in the past working towards. So that was a huge moment. Anybody else want to jump in? Hey guys, someone too maybe wants to mute. I'm hearing a sad little one.
I'm sorry. I don't know how to mute. I don't see anything that says mute. I'm sorry.
You're fine. If it's by your name, Megan, if you hover your name, does it come up?
I'm doing it from my phone. I don't know if that makes a difference, but no, nothing.
Are you on Android?
Yes.
If you just tap your screen and you'll have a little drop-down menu show up on the bottom. Press audio.
Oh, see, that part of my screen is broken. Okay, let me.
Oh no.
There she goes.
You did it. You did it. All right, guys. So any other green carpeters? What were your aha moments?
So I just wanted to share, kind of piggybacking on what you were talking about, when they did the very first segment on Friday was all of the Black Diamonds. And I was so inspired by just the things that they had to say. One of the things that they had done that was that hashtag Ask It Works, and they were answering questions about stuff that someone had asked. So some of my favorite quotes, one from Stephanie Dunn, and I think this is so true, and I think about this when I'm talking to new PDTs. She said, it's not that I can and you can't, it's that I will and you won't. Because I think everybody in this business, it's not easy. If it were easy, we would all be at the top tomorrow. It's just that the ones that are successful are the people that keep going no matter how many setbacks they have. Everybody in this business, no matter what rank that you're at, have people that don't work, have customers that are unhappy. Like, crap happens, and we just have to keep like pushing forward. So we all can do it if you want to do it and if you're willing to do it. So that was one from Stephanie Dunn. Denise Walsh said, the biggest distraction from this business is life. And she asked, like, who has life going on? Like, we all have life. We all have home remodels going, or kids that get sick, or whatever things going on in your life. And she said, do you want to be in the same place in a few years? And I think everybody in the audience said no. And then she's like, well, then you have to make sacrifices now so you're not in the same place. We don't all want to be where we are. Maybe we like where we live and we like what we're doing, but there are dreams that we have that we're not going to reach if we don't make a change and do something now. And so I thought that was a really neat thing she said. Joel Dunn, if you guys don't know who these people are, just like look them up on YouTube, because Joel is hilarious. But he said, we have to get out of our way and go help people, which to me really struck a chord, because I know in my business, when I was in the mindset of I need to go out and reach this person because I need to help them through this, was when my business exploded. For some reason, when I go back into the mindset of I need this because I need to promote, or I need this because of my business starts to stagger and slow down. So I think staying in that mindset of it's not about me, it's about everybody else. And we have this gift of a great comp plan of products that work, and we need to share that with everybody, because if we don't, someone else is going to do it. And that hit me too, because I know blitzing for me is not easy. So that's going to be my motivation to get out there and open my mouth. And the last thing that I wrote down that Joel said, he said, don't doubt yourself. Doubt the situation you're in. You're not where you are because you are where you are because of all the outside stuff, not because of you. So I thought that was a really important thing. We're not where we are because of who we are. We're where we are because of everything else. And so we just need to make the best of the situation and make ourselves the best that we can be, and we'll move forward. So those were my Black Diamond aha moments.
I have one, if you guys can hear me. You can hear me?
Yep, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I totally agree with you, Angela. I have a couple quotes too. The one, this didn't happen by chance, but by choice. And then a big one that I know a lot of people also connected with was, if you plan to fail, you fail to plan. So you just got to keep going with it. And an aha moment that I had was, I was sitting there, and you take things to heart a lot when you hear other people's stories, because you think about other people that are in your life that you can change. And so like with you, Angela, with certain things like that, like you think about other people before yourself with this business, and that's what I really like about it. So yeah, I had a lot of fun. Green carpet was awesome, and I'm glad I got to be able to experience it. So, and meet you guys.
Awesome. Kathleen or Liv or Krista, you guys want to jump in, share anything?
Sure. Yeah. Sorry, I've been turning my camera off because I'm eating. So.
Oh, no worries. And hey, real quick, Erica, thank you for sharing.
No problem.
So, I think the biggest thing that I took away from Green Carpet was something that I already knew before, but Jesse, like you said, it's nice to just hear things over again and just a reminder. And I don't remember who said it, but someone said, if your closing rate is for every 100 people you talk to, 1 signs. Okay, now you're going to sign your 3DTs and your 4 LCs. You need to talk to 100 times 7. So you need to close 7 of those deals, right? And the more you do that, the more you practice talking to people, the better you're going to get at this, and the better your closing rate is going to become. Excuse me, I think so often people say like, oh, I've talked to 10 people and no one wanted to join me, or I had a party and no one showed up, and then they kind of get in the mode of, well, it's not for me. And the reality is that it's not true. It's just like the person next to you might have had, they might have found a person on their first try, and you might find a person on your 50th try. That's life. I mean, I think when we like join this business, we kind of sometimes forget the reality of life. So this business still is a life business. And I have to remind myself, and my husband actually has to remind me sometimes, some people may have found their people earlier, or, you might just have to work harder than someone else. Someone else may have joined and went ambassador in a year. And then some people look at that being like, well, I'm not as good as them, obviously. No, that's not true. You might just have to work harder than they did, or you might have to work longer than they did. And that's just anything in life. There's always going to be somebody who's skinnier naturally. There's always going to be somebody who does better in school. Those people are out there. You're not going to be the best at every single thing you do, but find something that you're strong at and emphasize that in this business and run with that, and then just work on improving your skills then every day. Just recognize what your weaknesses and your strengths are and play up your strengths and fix your weaknesses. Become, a better distributor. It's about your business. It's not about looking everywhere else. That's all.
I would say my aha moment, and I've seen this before at conferences before, but it's just such a wide range of people. I mean, some people, like my sister just said, have gone ambassador in a year. Some people have taken 7 years. We've got the super, super young, like Courtney Bohr. We've got the people in their 50s and 60s. Like there's no right or wrong person for this business. If you've decided to change your life and you're willing to do the work that this business involves, because it's not easy. It does take consistency. It's simple, but it's not easy. You have to do the work every day, whether you feel like it or not, because I can't remember who said it, Angela or Jesse, but life gets in the way sometimes, but you just have to power through it and do the work anyway. But like I said, there's no specific type of person that's going to be guaranteed success in this business. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what your background was, what your education was. We've got people who don't have college degrees to people who were attorneys before they became distributors or while they were distributors. So you guys can have any background you want. If you've got the drive and the ambition and the consistency, you can absolutely be successful in this business.
And just a little addition to that, like I think a lot of people use the busy excuse. We hear the busy excuse all the time, and it drives us absolutely nuts, right? Okay, well, internally, we also hear the busy excuse, and sometimes we make the busy excuse for ourselves. Krista said, up through attorney, there's actually a presidential diamond who is going for her PhD. She's a PhD student right now. So, I mean, there really is all kinds of people with all kinds of backgrounds, and people from more open schedules to people with crazy busy schedules. It doesn't matter. It's like Krista said to me, like, because I kind of get focused sometimes on, oh my gosh, can I do this? Can I do that? Blah, blah, blah. And I like overthink a lot. And she's like, why do you care? Why do you care if there's anybody out there with your exact story or with your exact situation? Why don't you be the first if no one else is? So if you're out there and you're like, I'm going to med school next year and I don't know of a single med student that doesn't work, so okay, well, be the first one then. Why not? Somebody's got to.
Can I? Oh, someone else talking?
Hi. So my aha moment, this was actually my first green carpet that I went to. it was something that I read actually in a book on the way down before. We ended up driving down 20 hours to Florida. Crazy, but it was fun. So Amy Poehler's book, Yes, Please. I was kind of flipping through it because she's hilarious, and I figured I could get something out of there. And there was a little part that talked about how each of us have a demon inside of us that basically picks apart our confidence and how we view ourselves, and is just really, it's that voice that is just really nasty to ourselves. And reading that and applying it to this business and just thinking like, you know, don't listen to it and just get over yourself. And I think too often we kind of just get caught up in, you know, the negative, thinking, oh, I'm never going to sign someone, or comparing ourselves to other people and saying like, well, they did this faster than me, and just getting down on ourselves. And so that was kind of my aha moment, is just, you know, get over it and be positive.
I think my aha moment was in particular when I kind of started to realize that the presidentials, the ambassadors, the Black Diamonds, the amount of time it took, the amount of effort it took. I guess I didn't really like put two and two together, that like between 3 and 5 years was the average time it took to get to that level. And I'm being so hard on myself that I'm only, and like that's like my own psychological thing, I'm only at Ruby and I've been in for 7 months. But then when I put it in perspective, that all these people that are sitting at the top, not all of them, because some of them did it real quick and they were on the money and they were doing it all the time, but like we were saying, people take different time, and you can't compare yourself. And then on top of it, like you have to remember the amount of other things some people have going on. So in the process of when I started, I was getting my master's degree and working 60 hours a week. So insane, but I still did it. And like that's the fight that you want to have. That's the drive that you need to have, and to know that, yes, it's going to take time, but in the end, it's all going to be worth it.
Awesome. That's a really great point.
I think for me that it was something that I already knew, but to hear Ambassador Diamonds talking about find what you're good at. And it doesn't mean don't post on Facebook, or don't blitz, or don't post on Instagram, or whatever other ways people are using to build their businesses, but really find what you're good at and then really run with that particular thing. So if Facebook's been really awesome for you and you're just doing a powerhouse job with that, then run with that. Or if blitzing's your thing, because I sometimes worry, I do Instagram, I do Facebook, obviously I post every day, but I'm finding building relationships is, even though I never in a million years would have thought so, that's become something that's better vehicle for me. So I just think that, find what you're passionate about and what you really like to do, and then spend a lot of time, trying to do that, and not worry so much if some other avenue isn't really producing a lot of results for you.
That's awesome.
I think my big aha moment was listening to Brandon and Denise Walsh, how at the beginning they didn't really do anything special. They just showed up. They went to events, and they just included themselves in everything and did everything possible. They made sure that they were around like-minded people, and they found that the events helped to build and increase the passion that they had inside of them. And with this being my first green carpet, I found that really relit my fire inside of me by being around other people and hearing all the stories of the Black Diamonds and the ambassadors and everything, and how, you know, we're all the same. I don't remember who said it, but said that we're all normal. They're all normal, just like we are. And the only thing that sets them apart from us is their passion. They just keep going and keep going. And I'm just bursting with excitement to just really go 200% now with my business after going to Green Carpet.
Woohoo! That's awesome.
Can I jump in?
Yeah.
My one thing that was really simple that really just struck me was the section where they were talking about the wrap parties, and just the fact that you can have a wrap party in Caribou Coffee or wherever it is, as long as you're getting one wrap on one person. That's all it takes to have a party. And I think so many of us get wrapped up in the fear of having a party and I should have more parties, and we all say it, or we throw online parties, but we don't have much turnout, and we forget the importance of just simply getting products on bodies. So that was one thing that really struck home with me.
And I like that when they talked about the parties too, Jen, that they said someone said when they schedule a launch party for their new distributors, they always schedule 2. That way when their guests say, oh, sorry, I can't come on Friday night at 6 o'clock, they say, oh, good, then come Saturday at noon. Perfect.
Right.
There's always a backup available, and they can't come Saturday at noon. Okay, when do you bathe? I'll be there right after to wrap you. So
Right.
I think that's perfect. Like, you never let someone get out of it. You're always following up with them. That was Ashley Sinclair, another really hilarious person to follow. So are you guys excited about the new products? Because I am like busting at the seams to get those probiotics in the mail, literally. So who wants to do a little new product recap? Anyone know anything about it yet? 10 parts for something or other, 5 strains, probiotics, and prebiotics.
Can someone clarify that, because I'm behind, I was up, but can you just clarify, is the old greens going away, and then is the new greens not have any probiotic in them anymore?
Correct.
Do they taste the same, do we know at all, as the old greens?
They're supposedly better. So the berry is going to be less sweet, but it's still going to be sweet enough. And the orange is going to taste better, but they said it, for overall it tastes similar. But the difference also that they said was that the texture was going to be different. So it wasn't going to be as like gritty, like some people complain about it being like really texturized. It's going to mix in much better with liquid.
All right.
My question,
anyone who has greens on their auto ship, do we have to do anything different or tell them to change it, or is it just going to order them the new kind?
It's going to order the new kind.
Okay.
You don't have to do anything different.
Cool. Thanks, Lindsay.
should we continue to use the old greens pictures or the new greens pictures?
I don't think it matters. I would use the new though because they're prettier.
Yeah, I agree. They look cooler.
For aesthetics, yeah.
Okay.
They're
But
much more bright green.
Just use what you have, but for aesthetic purposes, they're definitely prettier.
I agree.
You see those old school wraps they used when they put up that slide? I was like, ugh, what is that?
You know,
fire them from the design team.
Did you guys notice too when they were talking about the new wrap packaging, how they're going to retain, they're not going to dry out in the new packaging? Like that's, I can't remember exactly the number that they said, but a certain amount times more moisture locking or something like that. So apparently these new wrap containers are awesome. So hopefully no more dry wraps.
And I look resealable. They reseal. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the packaging itself. I don't know about anybody else, but I put like a box of wraps in my purse all the time and carry it around. And the minute you do that, then it looks like you ran over the box of wraps with your car like 6 or 7 times. And then you pull out the wraps and you're like, do you want to try a wrap? It's like the ugliest thing ever. So I think with it looks like a bag of sorts. So it'll look nicer for longer at least.
So what are the other exciting parts of the new greens? Allergen free, no gluten, soy, dairy. That's super awesome.
Does anyone know if they're made in a facility that makes other gluten products? You know, like some ingredients labels will say this was packaged in a facility that processes other things, you know.
That would be a good question for Product Coach. I'm sure they'd have that information available, but honestly, I'm not quite sure.
Okay. I tried looking at the product information, but it was still the old stuff. It wasn't updated yet.
It's you know where it is? I just found it. It's in there. It's at the very, very, very bottom.
Yep, I have the new ones, and I just looked at it. Tina, it does not say, but I'm guessing, and this is maybe a bad guess on my part, that we're manufacturing all of our own stuff, and the majority of our things do not contain gluten, so the bet is safe. But I would still contact Product Coach, like Olivia said.
Okay.
I have a question. Does anyone know what the sweetener is in the new greens? Because someone said, one of my distributors said that she didn't see stevia anymore in the ingredient.
That is correct. There's no stevia. I'm looking at there's nothing in the orange. And I don't know where my third berry sheet. This stevia isn't in there anymore, though.
Juice?
I'm sorry, what?
Do you think it's fruit juice?
Yeah, I'm wondering, since there's more fruit in there, if it's just naturally sweetened. Because they did say that the stevia is out.
Okay, and they said it contains 55% more fruits and vegetables. So
okay, it must be, and which is great, because if you have customers who say they get headaches from taking the greens, it's probably the stevia, because a lot of people are sensitive to stevia. And so, just so you know, it's a good thing to let people know who've stopped greens that had headaches. The stevia is out.
And it has 4 times the fiber of the original greens, which is super exciting because of all of our cheese and bread. Well, those of you from Wisconsin, in your diet, that fiber is helpful.
Yes, sure is.
Hey, Angela, can I just have you clarify one more time? When you said that the new greens did not contain probiotics, are we sure? Because in looking at the ingredients, it contains spirulina, which is a probiotic. So I just want to make sure that, before people start saying, I was just looking at the ingredients, and things that are considered probiotics are going to be like microalgae, spirulina, and then of course all the like yogurt and kefir, which it does not have, but it has the other things.
Yeah, I actually didn't know I wasn't the one that said no to that, because I don't know.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, that's okay.
Dondi, I watched it online. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, I watched it online, and Dr. Don said that the new greens did not have a probiotic in them. Okay. So that's what he said, but I'm going to listen to that call that they did tonight, so maybe there'll be more information there.
Was that recorded?
Tonight's call should be recorded. It probably won't be up until tomorrow afternoon, but it should be recorded.
Okay. Do you mind maybe putting that on the Wraps to Riches? Because I didn't think that they recorded those calls.
Yes, they actually do. If you go on the events page, you go on the calendar, you can actually, when you click on, let's say, for example, tonight, there it shows show me the money call. You just click on where where the writing is, and it directs you right to the website. They can listen to it.
Dondi, I just read through the Berry Greens product info sheet, and there's not the word probiotics at all. So I'm assuming that Ashley and Dr. Don are on the same page.
Yeah. No, I was just looking at, like I said, I looked at the ingredients here on page 1, and it says that it has blue-green algae in it, and then it has all these other things that are considered probiotics. So maybe there's not enough. I don't know. I was just wanting to make sure.
Well, it's all the more reason to sell them greens and the probiotic.
Right.
Almost doubling your BV. Whoop, whoop. Right. All right, let's talk. Can we talk about the probiotic? Because I am like a newbie to that. So I posted on Facebook to see like other people who take probiotics and what they look for in a probiotic. But I think that ours is sort of unique in two ways. One, it does not have to be refrigerated. And two, it has that prebiotic in it, which is the fiber that makes the probiotics grow and be fruitful in your belly. So I thought that was super nice. And then I also read today that you can actually open it and mix it into a cold drink. So for those LCs that have a hard time swallowing pills, it says that right in the suggested use, that you can open and mix it into a cool drink or food. So that's a nice handy tip.
And no, I'm pretty confident, and somebody else jump in if I'm wrong, but it's just 1 pill a day with a probiotic, correct? It's not multiple pills, and it's just one.
Yes.
1 time a day, right?
Yep. That's what it says.
Mine's already shipped. I can't wait for it to show up.
I know. I'm super excited. So there were 4 testimonials. We have 6 minutes. So if anybody has questions, interrupt me. There
You
were
know what?
4.
Actually, I have a question. I'm so sorry. Angela, this is when I had lost my phone during this section. But did they talk about how to take the probiotic with the regular?
I did not hear that. They said the probiotic and the cleanse go hand in hand, but I don't remember anything about regular. Does anyone else? Did anyone else hear anything about it?
And that's one question I was asking too, because I definitely want to know how in combination, because I obviously don't want to be running to the bathroom all the time if that's
great.
All of our products will work together nicely. I think it depends on your severity of use. So if you're somebody that needs to use laxatives to go to the bathroom regularly, or you get plugged up on vacation or anything like that, I would try the probiotic without the regular. If you've been taking the regular consistently, try the probiotic for the first night without the regular, and maybe give that a couple of days. And then if you feel like you still need the effects of the regular, then to add it back in. But it's better to do that and gradually kind of try things out than just try it all at once and see what happens.
But and maybe I'm making this up, but isn't the regular like working, like cleansing your colon more so than actual gut?
Intestine, right?
And so I think it's a completely different system that you're working. So, I would think taking them both would be fine, especially like regular. I've heard people say that you should take it at night, and maybe you take your probiotic in the morning and regular at night.
You're supposed to take the probiotic with a meal, according to the suggested use, and then regular's bottle says to take it at bedtime. So I would be taking it at 2 separate times anyways. But yeah, I agree with what Liv said. Everything is designed to be taken together, so I assume that it would be safe. I bet Product Coach will have a question posted on the website about it, just because they seem to be on top of a lot of that stuff.
And Jen is right. I mean, they do work in different ways. The probiotic's going to increase the gut flora in your intestines and your stomach, so it is a little bit different, but if you are fairly regular the way it is, you may not need it. You may not need regular once you take the probiotic, so it's totally up to what your body needs.
How about this? I'll just try it out and let everybody know.
Great.
Awesome.
And then what did they say, Angela? Again, sorry guys, I had lost my phone at Green Carpet, and it was right when they were making these amazing announcements, and I was out in the parking lot. It was awesome. But what did they say about the cleanse as far as taking it together? What were their recommendations?
Yeah, it says it you can read like the little blurb, so I don't want to read it in the product information thing. It just says that they're designed to work together. The 2-day cleanse is going to remove the toxins and reestablish good bacteria in your gut, and then the probiotic is going to continue to do that even more. So it says you can use them hand in hand, but there's an actual question with 3 paragraphs underneath that in the product information sheet. I think that's something really good that we need to like make sure that we know how to answer that, because people are going to ask.
Definitely.
But their product testimonials were really amazing. There were some saying that they lost 6 pounds in a week just being on the new greens and the probiotic. So, I mean, I certainly think it's something that we should all try and be a product of the product. All right, 2 minutes and 48 seconds. What else do you want to know?
I want to know what the quote was you said at the very beginning. Something about, it doesn't mean I want it and you don't. something. What was that?
Yep, it was. It's not that I can and you can't.
Yeah.
It's that I will and you won't.
Joel Dunn?
Let me get that.
Stephanie Dunn.
Yes. Thank you.
It's not that I can and you can't. It's that I want it and you don't.
I will and you won't.
I will and you won't.
Yep. Because they might want it. They just don't want to work for it. You know?
Story of my life. Thank you.
Positive thoughts, Tina.
Yeah. Love it.
But I agree with what Jesse said in the beginning, you guys. I think green carpet is something that you should totally put on your calendars for next July-ish. Number one, it's actually warm in Florida. So we were able to like really go to the beach versus January or February. But yeah, I mean, it was super laid back. I washed my hands right next to Denise Walsh in the bathroom. So everyone's like readily available. And it was a really great time.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely a must in future years.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And something I just wanted to shout out to was the fact that we got to have dinner with you guys, and that was just awesome because it's one thing to be on a video call with you guys, and it's one thing to see your posts and stuff like that, but it's a whole nother thing to actually get to sit down in person and hang out with you guys and talk and just learn and grow as a full team versus just like little separate teams.
I agree. There's absolutely something to be said for getting together with your team. Jesse mentioned in the beginning that little line that those who show up go up, but it can't be more true. I think everybody that was at green carpet is someone that, I mean, not just from you guys on the screen, but
what's up? I'm busy. What
are you doing? You got to be there.
It work stuff. It's fine. What? It work stuff. It's fine.
Oh,
Julianne, you're on your
speaker. Stop.
Hey. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for joining us. I'll post the recording whenever I'm able to upload it to YouTube. It takes forever, so probably tomorrow morning.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much, everyone. And hey, guys, the virtual party is tomorrow night at 8:30, and that's a virtual product party. And I promise I'll brush up on the new greens and the probiotics so I know what I'm talking about. And then DT party is Wednesday at noon. And again, even if that's not a good time, still have people register because then I'll send them the recording right to their email.